You're 60 years old, you've got a little under $2 million, and everybody in your life keeps telling you the same thing. Not yet. Work a little longer. Build a bigger cushion. You just want to be safe. What no one tells you is this. At age 60, with that amount, you're probably not still working because you need the money. You're working because somewhere along the way, you were trained to be afraid of stopping. And this is the part no one says out loud. You've been told that working longer is a safe choice. It's the careful one. But for a lot of people at age 60, it may be the riskiest financial decision they'll ever make. Because every extra year that you stay, you're not getting safer. You're actually closing doors that do not reopen. So let's start with why this fear is so sticky. Because it's not that you're bad with numbers. It's because almost everything around you has an interest in you not stopping. Every calculator, every article, every default setting is built to tell you the exact same thing, which is keep saving, keep deferring, keep going. And that number moves. Maybe today it's 1.5 million, tomorrow it's 1.8 million, maybe soon it's 2 million that you're going to need. Whatever number you land on, you read somewhere else that you really need 3 million or 5 million. You see, the goalpost keeps moving even though you're already so close to scoring. I see this all the time. I've sat across from families with $1.5 million who feel the exact same fear as families with $2.5 million. They still have that same knot in their stomach. They're just nervous about retiring. The strange thing is those two families, $1.5 million and $2.5 million, they were both equally scared, which means the next few $100,000 was never going to solve the problem. It wasn't a money problem. If the dollar figure changes, but the fear doesn't, the fear was never really about the dollars. By the way, my name is Chris McClure, and I've been a financial advisor for 31 years, and I put these videos together about once a week. It's honest information for high net worth families who have worked really too hard to leave money on the table. So here's what actually changes at age 60, and it's not your balance. At 45, you're a wealth builder. Your whole job is to pile money up, save for retirement. At age 60, that job is basically done. Now you're a wealth optimizer. And optimizing is a completely different game than accumulating. And this is what I meant by that earlier point. Every year you keep working past this point, you're not adding safety, you're actually closing a door. And I'll show you exactly which doors you're closing in just a minute. But just hold on to that because it's really the entire video. There's a man I sat with about a year ago who said something I still think about. And I'm going to get to him in a few minutes too. Think about what just quietly disappears the day you stop working. You're no longer setting aside 15, 20% of your income for retirement because you're already there. If you were earning $150,000 and let's say saving 30,000 of it, you were never living on 150, you were living on $120,000. You see that savings expense when you retire, it's gone. Hopefully the kids are mostly off the payroll. The mortgage is smaller, maybe it's refinanced or maybe it's completely gone. Payroll taxes, that 7.5% or so off the top, that shrinks or vanishes the day your salary stops. You stop paying for the privilege of working. Then there's all the quiet stuff, the commute, the lunches out, the coffee you bought just to survive the 2:00 meeting. It adds up and it completely goes away. Maybe you should retire next year, maybe one more quarter, maybe when things settle down. You see, that's the story that keeps this whole machine, this whole spending machine running. Most folks need maybe 20, even 30% less income in retirement than they think because they're budgeting for busy, stressed, time-starved versions of themselves. But that's not who you'll be. You'll be retired and relaxed and not spending as much as you did when you were working. And the thing is that almost no one mentions this part, that when the paycheck stops, you don't lose control of your money, you actually gain control of it. While you're earning a salary, the salary decides your tax picture. You don't. Once that income stops, you decide how much shows up on the return, which accounts you draw on, when Social Security switches on. And all of those decisions affect your taxes, and they reduce your taxes potentially. See, that's the thing that a paycheck quietly takes away from you. And it's a bigger deal than most people realize. It's sort of funny. I'm a bit of a weirdo. I actually enjoy mapping this stuff out for families, account by account. I actually read the tax returns to see how it would help. The families who get to 60 and they stop, they have room to work with. The ones who grind to age 65, they keep handing that room back year after year without ever knowing that they're doing it. Most people never even realize that they're giving that tax flexibility away. So that man I mentioned earlier, his name's Walter. He's 62. He'd recently stepped back from running a regional engineering firm. He had about 1.8 or so $1 million, and he was convinced he needed to hang on 2 more years just to feel safe. We laid it out. 2 more years got him from 1.8 to maybe 1.95. And it cost him 2 of his healthiest years and a stretch of planning room he'd never get back. He looked at the financial plan for a long minute and said, so I've been white knuckling this for a number that doesn't actually change my life. And that's something I hear from a lot of folks after 31 years. And the fact is he wasn't wrong. But most clients, most people, they don't catch it in time. And real quick, if you're watching this and already wondering how your own picture stacks up, there's a link below where you can set up a call with me directly. It's no cost, no pressure, just a conversation. Like I said, you just check out the link below. Here's another thing. It's that people treat 1 more year like a neutral choice. It isn't. It's really an expensive decision that people make without even noticing. Every year that you keep a high salary is a year you can't quietly reposition money at a lower tax rate. Retire at 60 and you might have 5, 6, maybe even 7 good years to do that work, to make those transitions before everything starts stacking up. If you wait until 65 and that window is mostly gone, meaning the retirement accounts keep growing untouched, and that sounds great until those required withdrawals hit you in your 70s. And by then they're bigger than they need to be. And they're stacking on top of Social Security and sometimes dragging Medicare costs up with them too. So the safe choice of working longer, it quietly builds the exact problem you were trying to avoid. Working longer wasn't the careful move, it was actually the risk. Again, 1 more door closing behind you. Let me be very clear about something real quick. Under $2 million at 60 is not a failure. $1.5 to $2 million structured right, paired with Social Security, can throw off a generally comfortable income, sometimes with even a smaller tax bill than your working paycheck ever had. You see, at this stage, strategy and fine-tuning matters more than 1 more pile of savings ever will. Because the goal in general was never to die with the biggest account. It was to own your time before your body starts telling you no. You see, your 50s, your 60s, that's the window, that's the energy, the health, the years that you actually saved all that money for. The families I've watched who regret the least aren't the ones with the biggest balances. They're the ones who left when they had enough and didn't burn their best years chasing a feeling of safety that was never going to show up in a statement. If any of this is hitting close to home, I'd be happy to take a look at your specific picture and show you what leaving now versus later actually looks like for you. Check out the link below. Hopefully this was helpful. I really do enjoy making these videos, and I'll see you on the next one.